Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This episode is brought to you by Facebook. So you were scrolling on Marketplace, and there it was, the bike you'd been searching for. You sent a message, and it turned out the seller was super chatty, kind of funny, and an avid cyclist. The next thing you know, you're in a cycling crew. Well, a community cycling group. The thing about Facebook, you might find more than what you're looking for. From a browse to a bike ride, this summer find more on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to History for Weirdos.
We're your hosts, Andrew
and Stephanie.
And each week, we're going to take you on a journey into the strange, obscure, and relentlessly entertaining corners of human history.
Now listen up, friends, because it's about to get weird. Welcome back, weirdos, to the final episode.
The final episode of History for Weirdos. It's finally here. It has been 6.5 years, 163 episode, over 7 million downloads and listens. Over 1.5 million people have listened to an episode, and we have so many bittersweet feelings about arriving to this point.
Yeah, to the final episode. Here we are.
Here we are. I didn't think... When we first started this way back pre-COVID, I did not think that we would be at this point. Like, I wasn't even within my, I think, total knowledge sphere.
Yeah, we started, always sounds weird every time I say it, in my parents' bedroom.
That's true.
Our first episode, we recorded there, and now we're recording from Spotify Studios. How crazy.
Yeah.
And we're sorry that it's taken us so long to get to the final 2 episodes. We're recording them on the same day, so that's why our outfits haven't changed.
Exactly.
From the previous episode, if you're watching this on video. But as you now hopefully know, we're expecting our first baby.
Yeah, first baby girl in mid-October.
Yeah.
So we're really, really excited about being parents for the first time.
We're really excited, but it kind of derailed our plans for wrapping up.
Yes, just a little bit.
For a little bit. There was a time period where from the moment I woke up until the moment we were going to bed, I was vomiting.
Wow. Yeah. That
was a hard time.
I do remember that. And like I felt bad because like I just saw you in so much like discomfort, and I was like, oh, it's nothing compared to what Stephanie's going through.
I remember during the first trimester, there was a day, I think it was our wedding anniversary. We had our 9-year wedding anniversary this year, where Andrew took me to get ice cream. And then when the ice cream was done, I cried because I was like, that's the happiest I've felt in weeks, was eating that ice cream. Which is so sad.
That is really sad.
But it tells you where we were at. So now that I'm feeling better, we're in like what's called the honeymoon phase of pregnancy. We are here. We are ready to wrap this up with you all.
Yeah.
We are so excited. And we want to just thank the community for being here with us.
Yeah. Guys, you have no idea how much support, what your support has meant to us over these years.
Oh, yeah.
Going back to like the very first Weirdos, all the way back in 2020, like during COVID era, to now, to the like hundreds of thousands, like literally like 1.5 million people that have like listened to us, which is
insane.
such an insane statistic.
Yeah.
You guys have no idea, like all the comments you've made, all of the time you've given us, it really means the world.
Yeah.
I don't think when we started this, I did not think that it would be where like what it is now today.
I didn't think so either. We've had the opportunity to interview like really amazing people, like Peter Weller being like the big star-studded moment we had, chatting with him. We've had the opportunity to connect with you all. Like we've heard about how you listen to the podcast with your kids or with your spouse or whenever you travel or on your way to work.
Yeah.
That's so special to us.
It is. Like you tell us a little glimpses in your life, like how I can't even count the amount of times where it's like, oh, I listened to you like in the car on my way to work, or like even like really like, you know, unique experiences where it's like, oh, I tend my sheep. One guy literally was like, I tend my sheep and I listen to you as I'm doing that. And I'm like, that's so cool. I would have never known unless you guys told us. So it like you sharing little bits of your life with us and how we like help you with that is honestly such an amazing feeling.
It's what's kept us going for 6.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we didn't know. You don't know when you start a podcast, when you start anything, if anyone's gonna like care.
Yeah.
If anyone's gonna pay attention.
Especially at the beginning, like, you know, we'd get like maybe, 15 people listen to this episode. That's so cool, you know?
But then it's become a community. Like we really, really mean that. We love that. You guys have supported us so much. Sharing parts of our lives with you. You all are like always our biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you so much.
Even to like the few people that we've like actually met in the real world, like that's a really cool experience. One person even saw us on the island of Capri in Italy, and we're like, oh, like I don't know if that's them or not.
But it was us.
And it was us.
We were there.
It's just, I don't know, it's just so sweet and so cool.
And I guess that I'll just say, if you ever do see us, please feel free to come up and say hi.
Absolutely. We'd love to talk to you.
We'd love to say hi, give you a hug, and thank you in person for being a part of the weirdo community.
Yeah, the weirdos. So many of us now.
So many. And there's a little baby weirdo on the way.
Oh, yeah. One more.
One more. So for the rest of this episode, we'll just give you an overview. We have finally compiled the local lore that we requested from you all so long ago. So you all have written our final episode, which is really important to us. So we're going to take turns reading local lore from listeners. And then we're going to give you guys some personal updates because we know a lot of you are really sweet and like care about those things. And then we're going to end by talking about what is going to be the future of History for Weirdos.
Yeah. Exciting times.
Exciting times.
Would you like to do the honor and read the first one?
Sure. I'm happy to. Thank you. So this first bit of local lore is from Danny from coastal Oregon. Ooh, that sounds nice.
She loves the cold, like coastal cold.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm this pale, you guys. So from Danny, September 26th, 2012. 69-year-old Terry Vance Gardner went to feed his livestock in the morning, but failed to return. A few hours later, a family member went back to look for him and stumbled upon his dentures and the dismembered remains of Terry in the hog pen. Oh my God. Could you imagine seeing that?
I would be horrified.
Oh, that's like a nightmare.
That is literally nightmare inducing.
Whether it was due to Terry having a medical emergency that morning or the hogs attacking him, either scenario left him eaten by the very pigs that he cared for.
I've heard they do that.
Yes.
Like usually not like attacking, but if you like die or something.
Pigs will eat you?
Yeah.
Yes. That is the first story from Danny. The second story is in my biology classroom, there was a fake snowy owl that wore a graduation cap and sat above the door that led to the classroom next to us. Cute.
Very cute.
One day, my teacher told us about the day that she had a paranormal experience with the ghost that supposedly haunted North Bend High School. I had heard a few different mentions of a ghost, mostly around the theater room, but the science building also seemed to be a spot with some paranormal activity. My teacher had told our class that one day she was sitting in her classroom with a few other students when suddenly the cap which sat on the owl's head, had been knocked off its noggin. There was no breeze, and the doors were closed. Weird. She put the cap back on the owl, but then the cap flew off again. She waited a few days before putting the cap back on, and then it has never moved from the owl's head since. The science building was relatively new compared to the rest of the school. In its spot, it had previously been a swimming pool. Maybe a haunted swimming pool area. My teacher believed that the specter was the spirit of a teenage boy who had drowned in the pool. Perhaps all he wanted was to put on his graduation cap.
Oh.
Wait, that got so sad. Bonus, I also live near the whale explosion incident
Yeah.
that happened in 1970 in Florence, Oregon. Not much more to say about that. People wanted to clean up the corpse of a sperm whale that had drifted to shore, and they thought that dynamite was their best option. No, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I actually, funny enough, I did hear about that. I think maybe there's even been multiple incidents, but like, I think beached whales, especially if they're big enough, will naturally, I think, just blow up. They're really dangerous because they have all that accumulated gas, and then eventually it becomes too much and they just literally explode.
Oh, that happens, yeah, with a lot of animals. That happens
Yeah.
with birds, like pigeons. That's why sometimes you'll see, have you ever seen an exploded pigeon?
No, I haven't. I don't want to.
I have, and then you can see like the trash that they ate is in there.
Poor pigeons.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Danny from Coastal Oregon. This was a series of like really spooky ones, really
Yeah.
eerie ones. Okay,
Yeah.
you want to read the next one?
Yeah, I'll read the next two.
What?
Yeah, because the third one is actually my favorite one.
What?
I'm reading that one.
Fine. Andrew's the one who's pre-read these.
Yeah. So this next one is from Rochelle from Wisconsin.
I like that name.
So Rochelle said, my hometown of Stevens Point, Wisconsin, lays claim to the world's largest trivia contest. It is intense, and there's a documentary about it called Trivia Town.
What? Should we go?
I do want to go.
No one ever wants to play trivia with us.
No one ever does. I think, especially if there's history, like, I feel like, Rochelle, we could maybe team up. If you guys would have us,
Yeah.
I would love to. I've been playing with the same team of friends since the 8th grade.
How sweet.
A lot of things have changed over the years, but it is always marked on the calendar and a reason to go home and see friends. That is really cool.
I love that.
Every team has their own traditions and varying levels of seriousness. Our team, Minions of Chaos, has a 5 a.m. beer pong tournament, and we always stop for a shot at whatever bar is closest after doing a stone clue.
What's a stone clue?
I don't know.
Oh.
So, Rochelle, you're going to have to let us know what that is. But, like, wow. Yeah, that sounds incredible.
Andrew loves beer pong.
I do.
He has this, ever since we were like dating, you've had this fantasy image of playing beer pong with our baby in a baby carrier.
And I'm finally going to be able to live that out.
Finally.
Like, I had this, like, in this, like, fantasy in my, like, early 20s.
Yeah.
And now I'm in my mid-30s.
Yeah,
and I'm
you're like, one day when we have a baby, and I was like, we're not having a baby. You're like, one day when we have a baby,
I manifested that.
yeah, I'm going to play beer pong. I'm going to be like carrying the baby right here.
I did talk like that back in the day, huh?
Yeah.
Oof. Anyways, my friend's husband is a member of a team that repeatedly takes first place. Okay, maybe I'm going to
Wow.
join their team.
Yeah.
He had to interview to be let in the team. Wow.
What?
So they take this seriously.
Oh my God. That's really interesting.
He takes notes all year while watching TV or movies and buys all sorts of books about sports or movies, etc.
Oh, I would flunk the sports part.
Yeah, like,
Ooh.
I wouldn't be good at the sports part. I'm really only good at the history.
You are good. If it's like college football sports,
Oh.
you'd be really good.
Yeah, if it's college football, I wouldn't say I'm good. I'd be decent. But yeah, like baseball, unless it's the Dodgers, like I'm gonna be crappy.
My dad would be good at it.
Yeah, your dad would be really good at it.
We could get my dad on the team.
That'd be amazing.
And then we could get Tommy for movies, my brother. And then we could get our friend Alex for medical stuff. We could create a super team.
We might, actually.
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
That's
we
where we're
might
going to
be-
head.
I guess so. Okay. So the next.
Oh, wait, you didn't finish.
Oh, sorry. There's one more paragraph. There's so much more to this contest than what I can type in just this. I look forward to it every year, and everyone I've introduced to it has been equally obsessed. Well, we're now obsessed with it.
We're now obsessed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rochelle. If other weirdos have ever participated, like, let us know in the comments of the episode.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So this next one is
Mm-hmm.
from Reem, and I don't want to play favorites, but I think this one's my favorite one.
You already told us.
I know. I literally was just like, "Oh, that's my favorite one."
You've already played
Like,
favorites.
to be fair, like every single one we include in here, like they're all good. This one I was like, "Oh, this one really tickled my fancy for some reason."
Tingling your fancy?
Yes. So Reem says, I'm a Muslim that comes from an Islamic city. And just for some context, in Islam, we believe in creatures that are called jinn.
Mm-hmm.
And similar to what people describe ghosts as, we cannot see them when they're in their true forms. And what's really interesting is I always considered jinn to be like more like kind of demonic, not necessarily like true like demons, but like they're a little bit
I think there are good jinn and bad jinn.
there might be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have very little understanding of them, but like every single portrayal I've ever seen of a jinn has not been favorable.
Yeah. They're usually
They're
evil.
usually evil. Yeah. So, but Reem says they live normal or they lead normal lives in their own societies with their own ideas of what is right and wrong, just like we do. And they live all around us. They have the ability to possess, shapeshift, and can even cause physical harm to humans if they so wish.
Mm-hmm.
My city has an area accompanied by a large body of water that is a bit far from civilization. It's deserted to it being quote unquote haunted by jinn.
Oh, hell no.
Rent in the surrounding area is extremely low, and the salaries offered to people just to work there are really high. All of this is due to how afraid and how big of a risk it is just to be there.
Oh my gosh.
There are countless stories about how food suddenly disappears in the blink of an eye. Objects are moved from their places and suddenly appear across the room.
Ooh.
And eerie sounds that are heard in the middle of the night.
I'm getting chills.
Some believe that the jinn there don't mean to cause actual harm. They just get territorial and enjoy laughing at how scared humans can get.
I could see that.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm going to tell one story that I've heard from a close friend. One day, around 10 to 15 years ago, 2 teachers took their class of middle school boys to this area to have a class picnic near the lake. It's the only lake we have in the city, and the beach is 2 hours away, so this was a good alternative in their minds. The boys kept asking the teachers over and over again if they could just jump in the water and have a swim, but they kept refusing due to all the stories they heard about the place. But the boys wouldn't stop bugging their teachers, so one of them said, okay, fine. I'll check if the water is safe and everything is okay, and I'll let you guys come in after me. So this man, he jumps into the lake. They wait a couple seconds, then minutes, and then eventually 20 minutes has passed, and the teacher didn't resurface. So the other teacher called the police, and they came searching for him. Then they called an official rescue team to search the lake, but after hours of searching, they said there wasn't a single sign of life in the lake. No bodies, no clothes, nothing.
Stop.
The man just straight up vanished, and there's no trace of him to this day.
Oh my gosh. It's like he entered like a portal.
Yeah. And in the last paragraph, Reem says that the scary thing is that this story doesn't even shock locals because they've heard worse things about this place. Like, it isn't uncommon for jinn to take humans into the world, but nobody really knows their motives.
Wow. That's so scary.
That does fascinate me.
Yeah.
Like the concept of jinn.
Yeah. It's interesting how like different cultures have their version of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you jump in the lake?
Oh, hell no.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely not. I wouldn't even go near that lake, to be honest. Like, no.
That was fascinating. I would love to know what city Reem lives in.
Yeah, Reem, if you're listening to this or watching this, can you let us know?
Let us know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go. I just want to know.
have a morbid curiosity of like I'd want to go, but I would not jump in this lake.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. This next one is from Savannah from Wyoming.
Nice.
Hi, guys. I stumbled upon your podcast about a month ago, and I've been binging it ever since. It's probably been longer than a month ago now because it took us so long to get these. Yeah. Every day I take my Dalmatian Solo, as in Han.
Great name.
Out to the boonies so he can run around while I learn a little something interesting from the two of you. I love that. I'm from a little place called Cody, Wyoming, founded by and named for William Buffalo Bill Cody. Oh, cool.
That is really cool.
Mr. Bill was the most famous person in the world at one point, thanks to his traveling Wild West show, and continues to be a pretty interesting guy even after his death. Supposedly, he is buried in Colorado due to some nefarious newspaper magnates and Bill's not-so-happy wife, Louisa. But legend has it that his body was stolen from the morgue and brought back to Cody, where he is buried on a mountain overlooking the town. Pretty crazy story about the end of a Western icon.
Yeah, that is really crazy.
That is so interesting. I love that. Thank you, Savannah.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill.
Like, you just see, like, I had heard his name before, but I didn't even know who that was.
No, but it's just like a name that I think like all American kids grow up knowing.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Buffalo Bill.
Mm-hmm.
No idea. I thought it was like, I didn't even think it was a real person, honestly.
Did you think it was like
like a folklore?
What's the guy? He's giant lumberjack.
Oh. And he had the bull, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Did you think it was like that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What? I bet there's so many weirdos that are probably watching this right now that are like, oh my God, this is the guy's name.
Oh, we could probably
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
There we go.
Did you think it was like a Paul Bunyan figure?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I thought it was like Paul Bunyan.
But apparently he's real.
But he's real. Yeah.
And his body has been transported to Cody, Wyoming.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. The next story comes from Shelby from the Pacific Northwest. So, in 1967, the owners of Marsh's Free Museum in Long Beach, Washington, not Long Beach, California,
Not our Long Beach.
paid $750 for a curiosity at a local antique store. It was a mummified figure, half man and half alligator, with a leathery torso tapering into a scaled reptilian lower half.
No.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. It is kind of grotesque. They called him Jake and bolted him into a glass case at 409 South Pacific Avenue, where he has held court ever since.
Oh my gosh.
And you can even like Google this, and
You could see it?
yeah, you can see like or Google. You can even watch video
Okay.
like on YouTube. So Jake was almost certainly not pulled from any Florida swamp. The likeliest author of his existence was Homer Tate, a craftsman who built sideshow gaffs, like fabricated oddities, during the 1940s and 50s.
Oh.
Yeah. And then
What a
probably
disturbing man.
very disturbing man. Yeah. Very disturbed.
Yeah.
So, if so, Jake may be the most, or the finest, I should say, surviving specimen of a like vanishing folk art. The carnival illusion built to make a paying crowd lean in and wonder. So for decades, that's mostly what he was, like a regional oddity, the reason travelers pulled off the road, like at a shop otherwise full of like kind of like kitsch and souvenirs. Then in November 1993, the tabloid Weekly World News put a postcard image of him on its front page under the headline that a half-human, half-alligator had been discovered in a Florida swamp. The paper renamed and reinvented him, and a Spokane columnist grumbled that the tabloid had defamed one of the state's homegrown treasures. The mischief only fed the legend.
Yes. The guy definitely wasn't defamed when his body got like taxidermied onto an alligator. This is what's defaming it.
Yes, exactly. So over the years, the news spun ever taller tales around Jake, daring escapes, lurid crimes, even fatherhood.
No, not
Yeah.
fatherhood.
By then, Jake had become a genuine cult figure of the Pacific Northwest within pop culture.
Pacific Northwest is a strange place.
It's a vibe, man.
Yeah,
It's definitely like a vibe.
probably a lot of weirdos there.
Yeah, but there are.
Mm-hmm.
He sold more than the shop sold more than 30,000 postcards. Jake earned his own bumper sticker, and his livelier days was said to he would turn up to parties and nightclubs.
He's got a social life.
He has a little bit of a social life. Today, he enjoys a quieter retirement behind glass, surrounded by merchandise bearing his name. So each August, the Long Beach Peninsula throws him a birthday party complete with a car show, live music, and a bridal contest.
Ew.
A festival for a creature by most reckonings never actually lived.
Wow. This is like an inside joke gone like massive for their community.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
I feel like it is an inside joke that has just gone like way out of control.
Yeah, where he's got a whole backstory and life and family.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm really afraid to look him up. Should I?
Yeah, just do it.
Jake the alligator
Jake
man?
the half man, half alligator.
This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy. Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn into a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess. At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders. FX's The Shards premieres August 5th on FX and Hulu.
Hey, it's Christy from Lululemon. I'm here at the office, and we just dropped some really fun new summer colors in the Flow Y styles. If you're like me, you've loved the Flow Y tank and bra for years, and as of this year, it also comes in a dress and a crop tank. These are made in our buttery soft Nulu fabric, and my favorite part is the built-in bra. It makes it super easy to wear for yoga or honestly as an everyday basic. You can find Flow Y styles in store or online at lululemon.com.
This episode is brought to you by Starbucks.
That is fire. Whoa, that's good.
This might be the drink of the summer.
Okay, I like this one too. I'm rocking with it, okay.
Try it for yourself. Starbucks Refreshers Concentrates are coming home. Find them in the coffee aisle and make it yours.
Oh, no. He's ugly, you guys.
You guys should look it up.
Yeah, look it up. He's really ugly. Well, I'm not posting a picture of that.
You don't want to post that on the History for Weirdos Instagram?
No.
I wonder if like Instagram would take it down.
Instagram's like, this is obscene.
This is obscene.
Thank you, Shelby.
Yes, thank you, Shelby. That was something.
Okay. This next one's from Elena.
I think Elena.
From Helena, Montana. It seems like there must have been like preamble to the email, and then it just starts with like, kind of in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
So be mindful of that, weirdos. So Elena says, we also had a working brothel up until the 70s, and a woman named Big Dorothy ran it. I love when I enter in the middle of someone's story.
Yeah. So in Helena, Montana.
Yeah. She was arrested for not having a liquor license, of course, and was shut down. I worked as a waitress for 2 years in the building where the brothel used to be. It's now a restaurant called Windbag, named after airhead politicians in the 70s and 80s.
Love it.
Many think it is haunted, and I will say that the basement is very creepy. It has all the original dirt flooring and brick walls, and the basement is not open to customers.
I mean, now I want to go in the basement.
Oh, yeah. No, I really want to go in the basement.
I'd be one of those people in the horror movies that gets killed and like because they're like doing something stupid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. We also have a statue of Thomas Francis Meeker, I believe is how you would say his name, from August 3rd, 1823 to July 1st, 1867.
That's when he lived, yeah.
At our Capitol building, as he lived and rebelled in Helena for a time. Rebelled. He was, quote, an Irish nationalist and leader of the Young Irelanders in the Rebellion of 1848. After being convicted of sedition, which is a pretty cool conviction, he was first sentenced to death, but received transportation for life to Van Diemen's Land, now Tasmania, in Australia. Oh, snap.
Yeah.
He ended up drowning in the Missouri River under mysterious circumstances before he could get there. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some quite the characters in Helena, Montana.
Yeah. Francis Meager. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one comes from Barbara from Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
So this is about the case of William Hummel, Lycoming County's notorious axe murderer.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum. This case was considered the worst in the county, possibly even the state, like in its history at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still one of the most gruesome crimes to have ever been committed in this area.
Oof. Wow.
So the tale goes that in the winter of 1899, in a 4-room house William Hummel had built with his own hands in a hollow outside Montgomery, Pennsylvania, a young widow and 3 children vanished.
Oh, shit. That's not good.
By the time Lycoming County understood what had become of them, its citizens would be lining the rooftops of Williamsport to watch the man responsible die.
Wow. That's a pretty thug community.
Yeah. Hummel was no stranger to leaving. He was an illiterate Civil War veteran.
When you have trouble reading is it illiterate?
Yeah, I know.
I feel like reading these makes me a little nervous, like when you're in class and you're like, don't popcorn me. Don't popcorn me. Did you ever have that feeling?
No.
Oh, you wanted to be popcorned.
Yeah, because I was better than most of them in reading the stories.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, no, let me do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Popcorn, Andrew.
Yeah, exactly. So an illiterate, I know, that's funny how he stumbled on the word illiterate. Ironic. So he was an illiterate Civil War veteran, and he had worked his way through a string of wives, marrying each, then abandoning her to drift west. So stand-up gentleman, you could say.
What a scoundrel.
What a scoundrel. One disappeared in a quote-unquote train accident no one could confirm.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, so I don't think he's a good guy. He once turned up claiming to have been robbed, beaten, and sealed in a barrel and shipped home, a story that dissolved under the likelier truth that he had just been running with thieves.
Yeah. That's a very elaborate lie.
Yeah. By 1899, he was peddling rags and junk and loitering most evenings on the porch of his neighbors, the Delaney's. He was nearly twice the age of Sarah Delaney, and he wanted her. Everyone in the hollow knew she did not want him back. Then Sarah's husband was kicked by his horse and died in August.
No, oh no.
The night after the funeral, Hummel was at her window, and when she refused him, he put a rock through the glass.
Oh, lovely.
What changed her mind, no one ever learned, but that November, to the astonishment of every neighbor, Sarah married him.
It was probably the threat to her life.
Probably. The morning after the wedding, a woman watched him load Sarah's furniture into his wagon and asked if the rumor was true. It was, he said, and added that his wife would no longer run around on him. From now on, she would do exactly as he said.
This guy sounds like my kind of guy. I think we get along really well.
Oh, I'm sure. On the evening of November 16th, a neighbor saw the whole family alive. Hummel splitting wood, the children playing in the yard. It was the last time anyone saw them. The next night, neighbors watched him drive toward Montgomery, his wagon heaped with burlap sacks piled over something they quite couldn't make out. By midnight, he returned, the wagon empty. There was blood on his clothes. He tended an enormous bonfire for most of a day, and when his brother-in-law asked after Sarah, he said 2 strangers had taken her away to nurse a sick wife.
Right. A lot of people are always coming and just taking your wife.
And you're just like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you're strangers. Take her.
Yeah. On November 23rd, men crossing the Moon Farm found sacks dumped in a field and stamped on one. Inside were Sarah and 2 of her children. Near the wood pile lay the head of a bloodied axe. The baby Florence was nowhere to be seen.
Oh.
A mob found Hummel at breakfast the next dawn. Before anyone had accused him of anything, he blurted out that he was innocent.
Okay. Okay.
It's like, innocent of what, buddy?
Yeah, no one has said anything yet.
Yeah, exactly. At the undertaker's, he was asked to identify the bodies, and he felt nothing. Said they didn't even look like his family.
Ew.
In jail, his story shifted with the weather. First 2 strangers, then one named Harry Smith, then 3 children alive in Hazleton, every version collapsing under the next one.
Okay, so he's just making stuff
He's just
up.
making stuff up, yeah. Then in January, he announced that the ghost of his murdered wife had visited him in his cell, wishing to reveal where the missing baby lay.
Okay.
Performing her possession, he named a stranger as the killer and gave the exact spot, beneath the floor of his own barn.
Uh-huh. Okay, because someone else killed your wife and her children.
And then they buried it.
And then they buried the baby under your barn.
Yes.
And we know this not because you actually killed them, but because you were possessed by her ghost.
And the authorities did find the baby where he said she would be.
This guy's sick person.
This guy's an evil person, yeah.
Yeah.
The jury needed less than 2 hours. A week after, they sentenced him to hang, and he confessed. He and Sarah had quarreled. She admitted she never loved him. When he found his hidden money gone and feared she'd leave, he took an axe up the stairs and killed her with a single blow. Then the children.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's so evil. Just like that level of possessiveness and.
Yeah.
Right? You don't see them as people.
No.
You see them as your property.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can be like, oh, if you leave, I'd rather you all be dead.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I know. I can't. Oh, God, it makes me mad. But asked whether the little ones had stirred at the sound of their mother's death, he said only that he couldn't recall whether the little rabbits had jumped.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. What followed looked less like remorse than fame. Awaiting execution, Hummel gained 12 pounds, boxed a deputy in the prison yard, and asked to hang a curtain across his cell so he could charge admission to view, quote, the condemned man.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, no remorse, no empathy, no feelings.
Yeah, no,
he's like, how can I make some money?
Yeah.
Okay.
He sold the rights to his own corpse for a new suit and a felt cap.
You're okay.
Yeah. On June 5th, 1900, the wardens sold tickets at 10 cents a head. 200 crowded the yard. Others watched from rooftops and telegraph poles. And one man built a grandstand on his barn and sold seats of his own. Several local women petitioned to serve as hangman.
Good for those women.
Yeah. For most condemned men, there were a few mourners. Hummel got none.
Yeah. Good. He deserved none.
Yeah. Montoursville nearly rioted at the thought of burying him, so Joseph Moon interned him on his own farm, the very ground where 3 of the victims had been found. 2 weeks later, some of Hummel's own relatives, half convinced the hangman was an imposter, dug him up to be sure, and it was him.
Wow.
A year on, the community raised a headstone for Sarah and her children, and they still stand to this day.
Wow.
And 14 years after the crowd gathered to watch him swing, Williamsport tore down its gallows for good.
Wow, that was an epic one.
Yeah.
Who sent that in?
Oh wow, that was Barbara from Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah.
And now we have one from Morgan, from King of Prussia, Pennsylvania.
I love the name of that city.
It's a really good name.
Yeah.
I'm Morgan, and I'm from King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. I'm writing to you regarding the story of J.C. Smith, the principal of Upper Marion Area High School, who murdered an English teacher and her 2 sons. We've got a theme going.
I know. These two were really similar.
My grandmother and her grandfather knew this man. My grandmother and grandfather, knew this man and had him as a principal. Ew. You guys, I had some weird stuff going on at my high school too. Some local theorists think that he had buried the bodies underneath the pool as it was being rebuilt and cemented over. There's a novel based on this story. And then we're going to jump into the story.
Yeah.
This is the Reinert murders of 1979. To the people of King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, J.C. Smith was a pillar. He had climbed out of a Depression childhood through the U.S. Army, enlisting as a private, retiring a full colonel, decorated more than once, trusted to command troops and to coordinate flood relief after Hurricane Agnes. He had earned a doctorate in education and, for a dozen years, ran Upper Marion Area High School as its principal. He was the last man anyone would suspect of anything.
Bum, bum, bum.
Then, in June 1979, one of his English teachers turned up dead in the trunk of her own car. Susan Reinert had left her home in Ardmore on the evening of Friday, June 22nd. Her 2 children, Karen and Michael, with her. Bound, her neighbors believed, for a weekend gathering of a single parents group in Allentown. That's so sweet. It was the last time anyone saw the 3 of them alive. 3 days later, an anonymous caller told police her car was sitting in a motel in Harrisburg, 100 miles from home. Her body was in the trunk. The children were not. They were never found. So sad. A pathologist first ruled she had been suffocated. The fuller picture was worse. She had been beaten, drugged, and finally killed by a massive dose of morphine driven into her body. The first thread led not to Smith, but to another Upper Marion teacher, William Bradfield. He and Reinert had been involved. The 2 reportedly planned to marry. About a month before she died, Reinert had made Bradfield the sole beneficiary of life insurance policy worth roughly $500,000 and of her estate. Okay, that's a pretty good motive.
Yeah, that's motive.
I see why they thought it was him.
Yeah.
He had motive in abundance is the next line.
Yeah.
He also, though, had an alibi. The weekend of the murder, he was at the Jersey Shore with 3 other teachers. So there you go. But Bradfield had been saying something strange. For months before the murder, he had told colleagues and students over and over that Susan Reinert was going to be killed, and that the man who would kill her was Jay Smith. By the time investigators turned to the principal, his respectable life had already come apart in spectacular fashion. It began in August 1978, nearly a year before the murder, when Smith was arrested leaving a shopping center wearing a hood and waving 2 pistols. That's not normal behavior.
No.
Police searched his car and found 4 handguns, one fitted with a homemade silencer, and in his coat pocket, a syringe loaded with a sedative.
Oh boy.
You don't need those usually.
Typically, no.
A search of his home turned up 3 pounds of marijuana. Oh my God, that's a lot. And a set of security guard uniforms that tied him to the theft of tens of thousands of dollars from area department stores. Oh my gosh.
This dude's just like...
He had a whole side hustle going.
I wonder if he had like some sort of brain damage that just kind of made him like...
I wonder. The colonel, the doctor of education, the high school principal had been leading a second life as an armed thief. That's nuts. And the coincidences kept stacking. On the very day Susan Reinert's body was found in Harrisburg, Smith happened to be in Harrisburg too. A few miles away, due in court to be sentenced on the gun charges.
Bro.
He arrived nearly an hour late, blaming a gas station line. What?
Well, actually, that was plausible because like this is when like you had to like you could only get gas on certain days because there was like a gas shortage in the 70s.
Oh, and did they still have it where like you had to wait for someone to pump your gas?
I think that, but like I remember even my stepdad telling me like he remembers that like there would be really long lines just to get gas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. In the car beside Reinert's body, police found a small blue comb stamped 79th Army Reserve Command. Smith had been a colonel in that very unit. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There was a darker thread still. Smith's own daughter, Stephanie, and her husband, Edward Huntsberger, both long addicted to heroin, were last seen in August 1979, just weeks after Reinert died. Smith said the couple had fled to California to escape drug dealers they owed money to. But some of their belongings were in his house and they had never been found. Could you imagine?
Jeez.
For all the suspicion, the case against Smith was circumstantial, and a grand jury reviewing the evidence was told there was nothing directly linking him to the killing. Yeah, and they don't have like good DNA forensics at this time.
Right.
What the jury did conclude was that 2 or more people had conspired to murder Susan Reinert. Bradfield's jailhouse remarks, like him saying like she's going to die, made while he served time for defrauding Reinert of her money, were chilling. The plan he allegedly told another inmate had only ever been meant to involve Susan. Something had gone wrong, and it was a shame that the children had to suffer by mistake. That's not a mistake, dude.
Yeah.
That's an atrocity. When they were killed, he said, he had been there. In 1983, Bradfield was convicted of conspiracy to murder Susan Reinert and her children. He was sentenced to life and died in prison in 1998. 3 years after his conviction, it was Smith's turn. At his 1986 trial, prosecutors produced a new and damning detail. A small green pin that Karen Reinert had been wearing the day she vanished had been found under the front passenger seat of Jay Smith's car. Wow. The jury convicted him on all 3 murders, Susan, Karen, and Michael, and sent him to death row. He spent 6 years there. Then, in 1992, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court threw the conviction out. Wow, this is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
The trial judge, the court found, had wrongly allowed hearsay. Worse, prosecutors had concealed evidence. Grains of sand found on Reinert's body during the autopsy, sand that may have come from the very beach where Bradfield and his friends had been that weekend. Remember, he was at the Jersey Shore.
Right.
Ordinarily, the remedy would have been a new trial, but the justices judged the prosecution's conduct so outrageous that they did something almost unheard of. They barred a retrial altogether, ruling that to try him again would amount to double jeopardy. Jay Smith walked off death row, now a free man, not because a court had found him innocent, but because the state had essentially cheated in convicting him.
I know, that's like the stupid thing is like, honestly, if that evidence like didn't need to be.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't need to like exclude that.
Yeah.
It just shows that they were in on it together.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It really annoys me.
He spent his remaining years suing the people he blamed, of course, because this guy's a loser. The state police and Joseph Wamba, who had written a book about the case, accusing them of conspiring to frame him. He lost every suit. The last in 2000. And again, the courts that re-examined the evidence arrived at the same place, even setting aside the tainted hearsay. And one suspect witness, one appellate panel wrote, its confidence in Smith's guilt was not the least bit diminished. That's very telling.
Yeah.
Oh, appellate court. Mm-hmm. Among the evidence, the justices cited a letter Smith had written to his wife asking her to destroy things that would incriminate him. That's pretty damning evidence.
And also, yeah.
What?
He was married. That's crazy.
I know. Jay Smith died in 2009, a free man, his conviction legally erased, his guilt never dispelled, and more than 40 years on, the answers no court ever produced are still missing with the people who held them. Karen and Michael Reinert, 2 children who had disappeared on a summer Friday in 1979, and Smith's own daughter and her husband who vanished that same summer and were never seen or heard from again.
If you've ever blasted synth beats from your boombox or burned CDs for your besties, this one's for you. As people get older, much like their music tastes, their health needs change. AG1 is the simple daily health drink designed to deliver over 75 essential daily nutrients and pre- and probiotics to support energy, digestion, and mood, so you can make the most out of every decade and dance break. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
Plan B is a backup birth control option that's there for you when things don't go according to plan. It specifically works after unprotected sex and before pregnancy occurs by temporarily delaying ovulation. Plan B is available nationwide at all major retailers and through delivery apps like DoorDash. No ID, prescription, or age requirement. It's the #1 OBGYN recommended brand of emergency contraception, and it won't impact your future fertility. That's freedom to be. Use as directed.
Did you know Sam's Club isn't a store? It's actually a club. With cool finds and like a whole community. It's a club.
Of course, Jason. It's in the name. Sam's Club.
Oh, yeah. Come join us. Sam's Club.
Yeah. No, that guy was a psycho. I mean, both of them were psycho.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this next one is from Jennifer from Montana.
I think it's the last one, too.
I think, is this the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the last one. So the last one, Jennifer from Montana. So back in the day, they used to call Butte, Montana, the richest hill on earth. And the name was no exaggeration. So beneath the town lay one of the greatest deposits of copper ever found.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, copper, huge in like 4,000 or 5,000 BC, still huge today. And as America wired itself for the electric age, that copper turned a handful of men, the quote-unquote copper kings, into some of the wealthiest people in the country. Marcus Daly's Anaconda Company alone pulled fortunes from the ground that would look staggering even today. So their money built mansions, bought newspapers, and endowed lasting institutions, among them one of the finest mining engineering schools in the nation.
Damn.
Yeah. But the men who actually dug the copper were not getting rich, of course.
No, of course not.
Yeah, of course not. They were typically immigrants, Irish, Cornish, Finnish, Italian, and Slavic, who had crossed an ocean to take, the dirtiest and most dangerous work the country had to offer for wages that barely fed a family.
Mm-hmm. That's how it always goes.
Yeah, I know it's. I just hate reading that and being like, oh well.
We still do that today.
We still do this today. Yeah. They went down into the heat and the dark for 12-hour shifts, breathing dust that would later kill them as surely as any cave-in would, and they did it with no insurance, no safety net, and no sick leave.
Mm-hmm. This actually is like a side storyline in the Gilded Age.
Yeah.
They find one of their properties ends up having a ton of copper, and they're like, we're gonna get rich.
We're gonna get rich, you see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The scarcity reached all the way home. Mining widows took in boarders to survive, and the space was so tight that beds themselves ran in shifts. A 2-bedroom house might shelter a whole family plus a rotating crew of miners.
Wow.
As the men coming off the noon to midnight shift trudged home, and the very bed would fall into was being made up by the men heading out for the midnight shift.
Oh my gosh.
One family story captures the whole brutal arithmetic of the place. A miner, an immigrant most likely, fell ill during the Great Influenza of 1918.
Yeah.
The Spanish flu.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's it didn't even originate in Spain. It was just they were the first to report on it. They're like, oh, it's Spanish, you see. So he could not afford to stay home because in Butte, missing work meant another man took your job and kept it. Yeah, insane. So he worked and he sickened and he died in the hospital, a few rooms down the hall from where his wife was giving birth to their 5th child.
No. Oh, that's so tragic.
After he was gone, the rent from the boarders paid the bills and the other children left school to help keep the family alive.
Oh my gosh, and mom's got a new baby on her own.
Jesus, yeah. That was the true cost of the richest hill on earth. And on the night of June 8th, 1917, the hill collected its most terrible toll. So deep in the Granite Mountain Speculator mine, a lamp set fire to the insulation on the electrical cable, and flame and poison gas tore through the tunnels where men were working half a mile down below the surface. By the time it was over, 168 miners were dead.
Oh.
And it was the worst hard rock mining disaster in American history.
Yeah, that must have been so terrifying.
Some died trying to wall themselves off from the smoke and were found with their last notes to their wives and children scrawled in the dark. The disaster did what years of grievance had not. It lit a fuse. Butte had once been the most unionized city in America, home to a miners' local so powerful, a local...
local union?
Yeah. So powerful that it was known simply as Number 1.
Oh.
But by 1917, the Anaconda Company had broken the union's back.
Of course.
In the fury after the fire, the miners walked out and organizers came to help them stand again. One of them was a man by the name of Frank Little. He was a fearless agitator for industrial workers of the world who arrived in Butte and threw himself into the strike. Unfortunately, he did not last the summer. In the early hours of August 1st, 1917, six masked men broke into the boarding house where Little was staying, beat him, and dragged him into the street in his underwear. They tied him to the back of a car and hauled him over Butte's stone streets, then hanged him from a railroad trestle at the edge of town. Pinned to his body was a note reading, "First and last warning," along with the numbers 3777, the old mark of Montana's vigilantes, and the initials of other Union men, a promise they would be next.
Oh, no.
No one was ever charged.
Of course.
It was the first lynching of a labor leader in America since Haymarket 3 decades earlier.
That's so awful.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Frank Little, though, did not die in vain. His murder hardened Butte into one of the most fiercely pro-union towns in the country.
Good.
An identity that ran in the place's blood for generations. And he is buried in Butte still, beneath a headstone that names the cause of death plainly: slain by capitalist interests.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think I just want to take a pause here to remind everyone that I think normal people outnumber, that the oligarchy class like 1,000,000 to 1. Just something to, keep in mind in the present day. So the Copper King's money bought more than mines. It bought years for 4 years. It bought Montana's politics just outright.
I'm sure. Yeah, the corruption must have been crazy.
Yeah, and even before this incident, like in 1912, the people of the state started pushing back, and they passed a citizens' initiative that barred corporations from spending money in state elections. A direct blow at the most powerful corporation in Montana. Like, it was basically directed right at them, the Anaconda Company.
Yeah.
And that law stood for more or less like 100 years. And then in 2010, we have the Citizens United case, right, which basically allowed money to be used as free speech in elections, which is essentially like legalizing bribery and corruption. So, and in 2012, though, in the wake of that case, the court struck it down, the 1912 law, ruling that Montana's century-old stand could not survive the new national rule on corporate money and politics.
That's such a shame.
Yeah. Butte's Union pride endures, though it is no longer the force it once was. The great steel head frames still stand over the town like skeletons, monuments to the copper and to the immigrants who tore it from the ground, helped wire a nation with their hands, and asked in return only for a fair wage and the chance to come home after a shift alive.
Can you imagine? That's the big sin that you're committing, is you want to be treated with fairness and dignity.
Yeah. And I know, actually, this isn't written here, but I know in Montana, like present day, there are ways that they are trying to legally get around that case.
Okay.
Yeah, that the Citizens United.
Oh, good.
Which I hope gets overturned like in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Because it is just plainly evil. But and it's interesting because they're starting it, and then other states are starting to catch on and being like, oh, we can do that as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Really good story.
Yeah, that was a really good one. So,
and that was our last.
That was the last one.
A bit of local lore.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Weirdos. Thanks for writing our last episode.
I know, it's very special.
Yeah.
I feel very honored.
We're going to wrap up with some personal updates.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you follow us on Instagram, which you should, where is it?
At History for Weirdos.
At History for Weirdos. You will have seen, you guys got so excited for this news that Andrew is Catholic now?
I'm officially Catholic, yeah. We got married in the Catholic Church like now a little over 9 years ago. And I finally decided to, complete that, I guess that process, really, right?
Yeah, well, when we got married, I don't think you were even thinking about ever becoming Catholic.
No, I don't think I was. I was like, oh, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I think funny enough, like obsession with ancient history kind of
Yes, that's why we wanted to
me
share
into
it here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I always joke that, all roads lead to Rome. So
Yes, literally.
literally in this case.
Just thank you guys so much. It's like a personal thing.
Yeah, it's very personal. I don't really talk about it too much.
Yeah.
But it is something that like I definitely hold like in high regard, and something that's very like I think personal to me.
Yes.
But you guys were so supportive on Instagram, and I really appreciate that a lot.
Yeah,
so thank you.
I was a little like hesitant, like, should we share? But it was so special that I was like, why not? And everyone was just so kind and supportive, and it was really cool. I am his godmother.
Technically, it's a sponsor in English, which I prefer that term much more.
My family in Mexico thought it was hilarious because I don't think we use the word sponsor at all for like Catholic rituals in Mexico. So the term is like madrina, which is like your godmother.
Yeah.
So they were teasing Andrew like, oh, you have to be very respectful of Stephanie now. She's your madrina.
Yeah, because I wasn't respectful before.
Right. And then telling me like when it's his birthday, you got to get him like the best gifts because you're the madrina.
It's true. I like that part.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I got to be a part of the process, and it was really cool.
Well, I mean, this year kind of like gave me a baby, so it's a big.
I will.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, do you like what I made for you?
Yeah, it took me like 9 months.
It took me 9 months and lots of throwing up and lots of heartburn. I hope you like it. Pretty good gift.
That was a pretty great gift. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like a cool personal update. Any career updates that you want to share with the Weirdos?
Ooh, well, I did start, I think I've mentioned this. I did start a new job relatively recently, and
Less than a year ago?
Yeah, like about 7 months ago now. And I love it.
Yeah. You all were so, rooting for us and concerned when Andrew was unemployed.
Yeah.
And it's so nice that like we're not in that space anymore.
Yeah, we're so not in that space anymore. It's been I'm learning so much. It's actually like a good company. Great
you love your job.
coworkers. Yeah, I actually I find it interesting, which is like I think the first time that I had a job, I'm like, oh, actually I like this thing. Like I like it. I like going into the office. It's so rare.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, it really does. So thank you guys for being so supportive. I know even a few of you reached out and were like, hey, like I think my company's hiring.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, those didn't work out, but I appreciate the thought nonetheless.
The weirdo community comes in clutch.
Comes in strong, baby.
And then me, I'm still a therapist. I have my practice, and I don't think I mentioned I hired an associate.
Yeah.
I've been working with Brenda, I don't know for how long, because I don't really understand time.
Oh,
but
I don't know either.
I think by the time the baby comes, it'll be like a year of me and her working together. So it's pretty recent.
Yeah.
And then in September, my business turns 3.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Congrats, babe. That's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah. And I know some weirdos also follow me on like my therapist Instagram, which is Steph Sarati Adios. And it's so cute, so sweet, because they'll like, I talk a lot about, like childhood trauma, really fun stuff over there. But specifically for like daughters, if you were parentified, eldest daughters, it's kind of like my jam, for no particular reason. Totally unrelated to me and my personal story. And I love when the weirdos will like comment or like support content there. Yeah. And they're like, I'm not an eldest daughter, but I'm a weirdo and I love this. So sweet.
I know. I bet the people who follow you that don't know about History for Weirdos are like, what is going on here?
Who are these people who are self-proclaimed weirdos?
Yeah, why are they saying this?
Rooting on this therapist. What is happening?
I know.
So things are good and steady for us work-wise, outside of the podcast, and we just thought you'd all be happy to hear that.
Yeah. Yes, happy to report on that.
Should we tell them about the baby journey?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we tell it from the beginning of like how we found out and stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
How do we say this? She is a pleasant surprise.
Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry. Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable. From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces, ready to be engraved with your summer mantra. Each design moves with you, from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between. Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection, in-store or online at pandora.net, and let your summer unfold.
That refresh you've been putting off until the right deal came along? It's here! Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale is happening now, so you can finally get the style you've been waiting for less. Get up to 80% off area rugs and up to 60% off outdoor and bedroom furniture. Shop Wayfair's huge selection of styles and find the piece to fit your style, budget, and space. Plus, free shipping. Black Friday in July ends July 27th. Shop today at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
That's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, she's a very pleasant surprise.
She's a very pleasant surprise. So she took us by surprise.
Classic us, honestly.
Very. So when we found out, when I had like I didn't really even suspect that I was pregnant. I was just like...
No, I didn't even think that for a second.
Yeah, I was like, why am I late? What's going on here? Do I need to go to the doctor? Am I sick or something? But I was like, okay, I'll just take a pregnancy test at home just to confirm that I'm not pregnant, and then I'll talk to my doctor.
And this is probably like late January now.
Yes, late January. And so I'm like, oh, I know that the tests are more accurate if you do them in the morning, like when you first wake up. So I had it ready to go the night before. I wake up, it's like a Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the bathroom. And then what did you see on your end when I came out of the bathroom?
Well, all of a sudden I heard, like, Andrew, come here. And it sounded like something really bad is happening. She sounded very, very...
I sounded scared.
Scared, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And I run over.
I was scared.
And you're holding the pregnancy test. And you're like, I'm pregnant. And for like a split second, I'm like, I didn't hear that right. And then I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah. And we like hugged. And I was like, this is so crazy.
You were like, what? What? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you're like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And there was like the 2 lines. We were freaking out, but I only had one.
Yeah, that's right.
And so we were like, well, what if it's a fluke? What if it's like false positive?
Right.
So you like ran out, I remember, to the store, and you got a second one. And immediately that one was also like 2 lines. And we were like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was really... like, remembering it now, I can feel a little bit of what I felt at the time. I was like dizzy.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a shock.
That was like, I think we had tentative plans that day or something.
Yes.
Like nothing crazy, just like, oh, we're gonna do this. I don't even remember what it was. And then we're like, well, this changes everything.
Yeah, we have to figure some things out. Today has to be a little different than we thought it was gonna be. So it's gonna be like a chill. Maybe we're gonna do like chores or see friends or something.
Yeah.
I think I did end up seeing my friend Amanda, which was really hard to see a friend and not tell her like, hey, I just found this out today. And then we wanted to mark the day by going to the beach together. Mm-hmm. And so we went at the end of the day and we like watched the sunset.
Yeah.
And we just talked about the baby and made plans for how we were going to tell people.
Right.
So that was back in January.
Okay, and also I just want to say something really funny too. Like the very following day, so that was a Saturday. On Sunday, you stayed home, but I went to mass.
That's right.
I had to do like the Catholic thing of like
of
like learning how to be Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is like going to mass every Sunday, and then you have like a little like Sunday school.
Yeah.
I guess, with like
adult Sunday school.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
with like a cohort, and there was like 60 people in my cohort.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are really good friends of mine now, but like one of them in particular, he was opening up about and I didn't know this about him, but like he was going through a divorce,
mm-hmm.
and so not through the Catholic Church, but a divorce nonetheless. And he was like really sad about it, and I was just like, and there was like a moment of silence. I'm like, my wife's pregnant. So like technically the first person I told was like one of my friends, and I was like, please don't tell anyone. But like,
and he was like, oh my God.
I was like, yeah, we just found out yesterday. And it was funny because we had saw him Friday night.
Right before we found out.
Right before. Yeah,
That's
the
right.
night before we found out.
Yes, we went on a date to the French restaurant.
Yes, and we saw him picking up food. I was like, oh my God, hey.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a really funny kind of
little ADHD impulse moment.
Yeah, where I'm like, my wife's pregnant.
Yes.
It's kind of exactly how it came out too.
Yes. And then we started to tell our families, and we told our friends at Andrew's like birthday party at a bar.
Yeah, we surprised them all.
Everyone was shocked.
Yeah, because Stephanie doesn't drink. She wasn't
Right.
drinking. That wasn't a surprise to anyone.
Yeah, that's not weird. I haven't drank
Yeah.
in like 7 years, 6 years. I don't know.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was funny. I had our waitress take pretend like she was taking a picture, but she was actually taking a video. And we're like 3, 2, 1, and then I just turned to everyone like, Stephanie's pregnant.
And there's like a moment where people are like, "What?" And then it's like, "Ah!"
And then just it was like kind of chaos in our little corner.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was really nice, really fun. It's so like exciting and nerve-wracking to tell people.
Yeah.
For some reason. We're really excited to tell you all, which we did on Instagram, like we said. And we said this when we recorded the previous episode on the history of witches, but today, as we record our last episode, I'm 20 weeks pregnant.
Which is like the halfway mark.
We're halfway there.
We're halfway there. Oh, I messed that up.
So today is a Thursday. On Monday, we have what is known as the anatomy scan, which is like the ultrasound that they do at the halfway mark. It's like the biggest ultrasound. They're stingy with the ultrasounds, you guys. I thought every time you go to the doctor, they're going to give you like pictures of your baby, but they don't do that.
You don't.
So
Shenanigans, I say. Shenanigans.
The last time we saw her, it was 12 weeks. And I have my OB, but I also have a maternal fetal medicine specialist, because before we were recording, I think the Julius Caesar episode, we told folks that I had been recently diagnosed with hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos.
Yeah, which is a pretty rare condition.
Super rare.
Which, funny enough, Amelia Clark also has.
Yes, Amelia
which
Clark
we just found out.
She was just being interviewed on a podcast, and she talked about finding out that she has hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos as well.
I know, isn't that crazy?
So it's for all the baddies when you think about it.
All the baddies.
So because I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos, one, they don't know a ton about it. So when I told my OB, he's really good. We like him a lot. He's like, yeah, so I don't really know how that's going to affect your pregnancy.
I love that so much. That's what I do love about him though too. He's very honest.
Yes. So when he tells us he knows something, we know he knows it. I love a doctor that can admit, I don't really know. Like, I know that's important, but I don't know how it's going to affect you. So you have to go to this specialist, which is a maternal fetal medicine doctor. That's for like high risk pregnancies.
And there's not that many.
Yeah, there's not a lot. So we go to her in addition to the OB. So I've had extra care, which is nice. She's already seen the baby before, the MFM doctor. And everything was good at the 12-week scan. So we're hoping on Monday they just confirm everything's still looking really good. And then the next day, we go on our baby moon.
Yeah. We'll be going to Mexico.
We're going to Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah. By the time you are listening or watching this, we have been back for quite a while, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So that is where we're at so far with the pregnancy. Oh, something, it's been very, very kind. A few folks have asked us if we have a registry.
Yes.
We do. We can share it in this episode. Obviously, no one is expected to, even if you just want to look at it because you're curious. I know a few weirdos have reached out that they're pregnant. If you want to see like what we wanted to get, you can take a look at it there. No one's ever expected to get us anything.
Yeah.
Your love is more than enough.
Yeah.
But we're happy to share it with you all. I have done like a gross amount of research into baby stuff.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. So some pretty good baby stuff on there.
Yeah.
And our baby shower will be in July at the bar that we've mentioned before where I grew up.
That's right.
So it's going to be a very like unique baby shower.
Yes. Not very like super feminine.
Andrew was looking at the guest list and he's like, what are these names? Tony Morocco, Cowboy Steve, haircut. This one just says haircut.
Yeah.
I was like, it's the bar guys.
The bar, yeah.
We have to invite the old boomer men from the bar
Classic.
to the baby shower.
It wouldn't
they have
be a
to
baby
be there
shower without them.
with Cowboy Steve
Yeah.
and his flip flops.
I love that. And his cowboy hat.
And his cowboy hat. That's why he's Cowboy Steve.
Exactly.
Because he always wears a cowboy hat. Also, we are terrified of becoming parents.
Yeah.
What do you think scares you the most?
Like the unknown, I guess.
Damn.
Like literally the lack of sleep plus like the myriad of things that could go wrong, you know?
Yeah, we don't know anything. Yeah.
Yeah, so that really sucks.
We are very scared of the lack of sleep.
Yeah, that's up there for me.
That's pretty up there for both of us.
Because we both love like our sleep, or like at least like 7 hours a night.
Yeah.
And that's not gonna happen for once the baby comes for a long time.
I asked my dad on Mother's Day. My dad got me my first Mother's Day present, Andrew and my dad. It was so sweet. And so I asked my dad, I was like, hey, Dad, because he's had 3 kids. And he, funny enough, between the 2 parents, if we had sleep issues, everyone would go to Dad. He was like primary caretaker in that way. So I asked him, I was like, at what point, like, do your kids let you start sleeping again? And he's like not trying to be funny at all. He's like sits back, crosses his arms over his belly. And he's like, I'd say like about 2 years. What? 2 years? After 2 years you could sleep again?
Guys. Oh my God.
So this is not the reason why we're ending the podcast. But it is a good timing, I think. It is good timing to end it.
Exactly. I think it just reinforced, like, this is probably the right time.
Yes. Because we will be so sleep deprived. We're not going to know anything.
Yeah.
We're going to be like, yeah, history's dope, man. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, we'd be really dumb.
We're going to be, like, so dumb for a little while.
Yeah, and that kind of leads us into our next topic of, like, the future of history for weirdos.
Yes. We are... I'm not trying to say goodbye forever.
Yeah.
To you all. If a new format that is more sustainable with like our current life demands comes up, like if we get an idea of like, oh, we could do it like this would make it easier, we'll totally do that. We just don't have a ton of capacity right now.
Yeah, I think between like just having, me still getting in the rhythm of like a full-time job, now also going to be like a first-time parent, and for you like owning your business and also being like a mother for the first time, I think we have our hands pretty full.
Yeah, we have our hands full. So it would have to make sense with that chapter of our lives.
Exactly.
But it's not that we want to say goodbye forever.
Yeah. I do see a world where we have a different type of format, I guess, like you said.
Yeah.
Like whatever that means. And we're very open.
Yeah, so if you have suggestions, you can always let us know.
Yeah.
You can comment on the episode, comment on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, we did share this on our Instagram stories recently, that we are open. We've discussed the idea of co-authoring a book.
Yeah.
Because that might be a better fit for like the pacing of our schedules.
Right, especially over the next, honestly, probably a couple of years.
So we asked you all, like, if we were to write a book, what would you want it to be about? Some of you had very funny answers.
Yeah.
Like the story about, what was it, giving Julius Caesar a Baja Blast was one of them.
Yeah, that was my personal favorite. Probably won't be what the book is about, but I love the idea nonetheless.
And then someone else wrote, whatever it is, I know there'll be like a ton of cool band names in there.
I didn't even realize how much we say that.
Yeah, like, ooh, that's a good band name. But then we also got like serious suggestions of like women in history, unsung heroes. People suggested like do some of the some of the stories that you've done in episodes, but then do other ones that you haven't shared before. Other people challenged us to try to write a book where we combine ancient history with like Victorian to Edwardian era history.
Yeah, that would be really cool, really tough.
Ooh, okay, my favorite suggestion.
Which one?
A book about Rome.
Oh yeah, like Rome throughout the ages.
Yeah.
Like starting from like, and this is what I love about Roman history is that it starts in complete myth, right?
Yeah.
It's legend, myth.
We
and
don't
then-
know.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
don't know. And then and we don't know at what percentage it is, but just slowly over time it becomes less myth and more history until it just becomes like, oh, it's just history now.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. There's really nothing else that's kind of like it.
You would take over the ancient part. I'd take over the modern part for sure.
Exactly. And then the medieval part would be like, neither of us.
Outsource it.
Yeah, we're outsourcing. We'd have to have a third person.
Yes. That would be my favorite because then we could have like a research trip to Rome.
Oh my God. Yeah. So
but when would we have time for that?
Right, exactly. But I will say, if anyone here is in the literary publishing world and wants to have us do that, let us know.
Wants to help
Reach
a
us
couple
out.
weirdos out?
historyforweirdos@gmail.com.
Yeah, let us know. And thank you guys for those suggestions. They really have helped us kind of think of what we would create. And in the meantime, we do plan on documenting more of our personal life and our history-inspired adventures, like when we go to museums, when we go to historical sites, when we travel again eventually. We're going to document all of those things on our Instagram.
Yeah, so that's, for the meantime, that's definitely the best place to follow us and like what we're doing and whatnot. We haven't been like super consistent with posting recently, but we will probably, once that's like, we will just be more consistent with posting about it.
Yeah, we really wanted to get this wrapped up.
Exactly. Thank you.
But we have done a couple of we have a little bit of a backlog of content that we're going to share on Instagram of just some historical sites local to us that we've seen that we're really excited to share with you all. And when the baby comes, we want to let you all know that she's here, that she's healthy. And then we've already been like daydreaming of like road trips that we're going to take with her.
Yeah.
To different historical places. So we'd love to share that with you all.
Absolutely. I know, and I think that's it. That's it. That kind of wraps up History for Weirdos for the time being.
Yeah.
So, would you like to do the honors?
Yeah, just like a final thank you.
Yeah.
We love you guys. And until next time, whenever that may be.
Adios. Last time in studio, guys. It's an end of an era.